Okay, so I'm back with another random car Nurburgring hotlap. In the last one I used an Audi RS4 estate. Let's see what I get this time. And it's a Renault Megane RS 250. I'm not going to lie, I was hoping for something a bit different to this, but it is a cool car. I always hear great things about Renault sports cars, but I've never driven one in real life or in a video game, so this should be quite interesting. Here's the lap. What I'll do, I'll give a quick review of the car over the top of the video and I'll talk about my first impressions right through to my final verdict. So for the first lap, I found the car to be very twitchy off the throttle. I also found if I made a mistake, like carried too much speed into the corner and had to screw off some speed, or I had to change my line slightly mid-corner, I'd have big problems. I also found the car would understeer on corner exits, so when I was powering out of a corner, sometimes at the point where I thought, right, I can slam the accelerator down, I'd find I actually couldn't and the car would understeer. So I'd either have to come back off the throttle and back onto it to correct it, or if I didn't, the car would just understeer off the track. Once I was aware of these problems, obviously the car became a lot better. You could account for them. I just made sure not to carry silly amounts of speed into a corner and try and take a line that I wouldn't have to change. Instead of going maximum attack into corners at the start, I'd sort of give myself a little bit of leeway. Also, once I was aware of the understeer out of corners, I would change my line on corner exits, so I'd sort of take a later apex and then I'd have a smoother corner exit and I could get onto the power because I'd be turning less at the end of the corner. The other thing that kind of annoyed me was the lack of revs. I'm used to driving Japanese cars in real life and in games, and most of them have quite a high rev limiter, so compared to those, this car, it felt like I was constantly changing up and down through the gears just to keep it in the power band, basically, just because I'd be hitting the limiter where normally I'd have an extra 2, maybe 3,000 RPM to play with. But again, once I was used to that, it just became the new normal. For the second lap, I felt the front end felt really great when turning into corners, and the car also felt very planted during past the corners. The back end of the car feels really stiff. This could be Renault trying to make the front softer than the back to counter understeer, which is always a problem with front wheel drive cars, because the front has to do all of the work, deliver the power, the majority of the braking and the turning obviously. The front tyres are always going to be the point of weakness. You'll lose the back end sometimes if you do something very wrong, but stiffening the back of the car basically gives the front more leeway and means you can do more until you start to break traction. This means you do get the sharp turn in, but you also get a lot of lift off oversteer. If you lift off the accelerator and the weight moves to the front of the car as you turn in, or even worse, as you turn in whilst braking, you're going to lose the back end. But in some ways, once you know how the back end reacts and you're used to it, it's a better car to drive in race circumstances. It just makes it a more difficult car to get used to, because what I spoke about, how I found in the first lap, the car was difficult to control at the limit. That's contributing to those problems, but once you're aware of those problems and you overcome them, it makes the car a better car. You've just got to learn what the car wants to do and work with that. The inside wheels, like I said, they span quite a lot in the corner exit. I noticed it was one tyre, usually the inside wheel, because there's less weight on that wheel, spinning. I don't know if the car has an LSD as standard or what type of LSD, but it definitely felt like one of the front wheels was spinning, which probably was what was causing the understeer. Okay, so I'll skip a few laps now and go to the final lap. What I found was the car got a lot better once I was used to it. First few laps, I honestly started to hate the car. I did a 6, 7 tenths lap for my first time just to set a clean time and sort of get used to the car, but not really get used to it at the limit, and it was okay. But I found once I started setting my first proper timed lap, I really didn't like it. It was one of those where I was thinking, God, I'm going to have to keep trying to set a quicker time now with this car, but I'm not going to enjoy it because I'm going to have problems and keep hitting issues. It felt like a really difficult car to drive at the limit. Once I got used to how it handled the limit though, I found those negatives became positives. So, yeah. Kind of weird. It's a great car to use left foot braking mid-corner with, because you can sort of balance the car. It's also a car that responds well to smooth inputs of the accelerator and the brakes to balance the car. Harsh inputs it definitely doesn't respond well to. if I slam on the brakes and turn into a corner with the brakes slammed down and all the weight on the front wheels, I'll lose the back end of the car and it will oversteer. If I slam on the accelerator mid-corner, trying to power out of the corner too early, the front wheels will either spin or pull the car off to the side and it'll understeer basically. But if I use the brakes, let off the brakes once the car has shifted the weight towards the back again, turn in so the car's quite 50-50 balanced into the corner, or so that there's weight on the front wheels but it's not like all the weight's on the front wheels and the back end of the car's light, it turns in really well. Same as if I exit the corner with a better line to counter the understeer, or if I exit the corner on quarter throttle and then move to half, 3/4, flat out, it responds a lot better and pretty much gets rid of any problems with wheels spinning or the car trying to pull its way off the track. So first thoughts were it's okay. Second thoughts were I hate this car, I can't wait for this to be over. Final thoughts were I kept wanting to set more laps just to try and get more and more out of the car. Once I'd got used to it, I found there were corners which I was struggling to push it through at 60 miles an hour on the second lap, but I was finding it easy to take at 70 miles an hour on the last lap, and then I was thinking, can I push it through at 75? If I take a better line, can I carry more speed through this corner to get more speed at the end of a straightaway? And I found I really enjoyed driving it. What I'll do, I'll run through the times and I'll give you sort of a final verdict on the car. So my first lap time was 8:43.1, that's 8 minutes 43 seconds, 0.1 something milliseconds. My second lap I shaved off 2 seconds. My third lap I knocked off another 2 seconds and got it to 8:39.3. Fourth lap exactly 3 seconds shaved off and 8:36.3. So gradually improving throughout each one, and the final lap I knocked it down to 8:34.0. The real life best time around that track in that car is 8 minutes 29, so I'm still 5 seconds off that time. I do think there's more time to be gained. That 8:34 was only my 5th lap in the car. And the Nurburgring, it's a track which you can lose seconds quite easily because there's a lot of long straights or straights and flat out corners where if you take the first corner wrong and lose 1 mile an hour, 2 miles an hour at that first corner exit, by the end of 3 flat out corners and a long straightaway, that can be a lot more than 2 miles an hour, and that makes a lot of a difference in seconds. So there's definitely places where I could get that closer to 8:29, but the point of this is to take a random car, take a few laps and see how it handles. To be honest, I think taking a perfect lap in that car sort of defeats the purpose. A lot of the laps where I try and set competitive hot lap times, I drive a lot more than 5 times, but the lap ends up looking very stale and it gets very clinical. Usually I'll find that if I'm lapping a shorter circuit and doing 20 laps in a hot lapping session, by that 20th lap, the lap's very uninteresting. There won't be many moments of oversteer, understeer. It'll be more perfect lines and more by the book driving, which is less glamorous but is a lot quicker. That's the fact. When a car looks like it's not going quickly, it actually is going very quickly, and when you watch someone driving a race car on TV, it doesn't look like they're driving at the limit, but they're just driving at the limit exceptionally well. But this is a video and what I want it to be is interesting, so I think me setting a decent time, a time that I'm happy with, that looks interesting, is probably better. So yeah, happy with the time. Thank you for watching, especially if you made it to this point, really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video.